Welcome back to the Stay-at-Home Mom Cooking Academy by Daily Foods. In today's lesson, we'll be talking about having a food plan for your family each week. For today's assignment, you'll be commenting below this video with the number of daily calories required for each person in your family. As always, you can get the full text of this lesson in Chapter 2 of the Stay-at-Home Mom Cooking Academy textbook PDF. So let's begin. The USDA Myplate shows us what foods from each group we should eat to maintain a healthy diet. It shows nutrition recommendations for infants through old age, so we can use this plan to create meals for our family. Every 5 years, the USDA updates the dietary recommendations for Americans. Their PDF gives detailed information about specific dietary recommendations, including vitamins, minerals, calories, protein, and more. This is a very long document. It's currently 135 pages, so I use it as a reference tool. And for weekly meal planning, I've created an easy-to-use spreadsheet for stay-at-home moms to create healthy grocery lists for the entire family. The USDA has created a handy calculator for calculating the total number of calories required per person for each member in your family. So first, I want you to pause this video and head over to myplate.gov/myplate-plan and calculate the calorie needs for each member in your family. Once you know your family's total weekly needs for calories and servings of each food group, go ahead and download the Stay-at-Home Mom Cooking Academy Spreadsheets, which are linked in the description below. And these include a weekly shopping totals spreadsheet, a weekly grocery shopping list spreadsheet, and a weekly meal planner spreadsheet. You can use the Stay-at-Home Mom Cooking Academy spreadsheets in several ways. They can serve as a shopping guide to show the approximate amount of food needed for each member of the family, or you can use them to compare the kinds and quantities of food you regularly use just to make sure that you are not short in any important kind. If you have a garden or a store food in a pantry, the food plan can also help as a general guide to the amount of foods that the family will use throughout the week, month, and even the year. To use the spreadsheets, figure weekly amounts of the food groups that will fit your family. The columns in the Weekly Shopping Totals spreadsheet are arranged to show food quantities according to the caloric needs of each member of the family. The rows of this food plan give an approximate amount of each food group required per family member based on caloric needs for the week. The food spreadsheet calculates the number of servings per food group, then calculates the approximate pounds of each food group to shop for each week. So what's in each food group? The USDA Myplate shows us which food groups we need to consume each day to maintain a healthy, well-balanced diet that is rich in vitamins, minerals, protein, and calories. Gone are the days of the food pyramid. They have finally replaced it with a very easy-to-read and understand eating plan for all Americans. So the first is vegetables, and there are several categories of vegetables, including the following: leafy green and yellow vegetables, which are rich in vitamin A, especially the dark leafy green kind, and carrots. They also provide worthwhile amounts of riboflavin, iron, and some calcium. And cabbage, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts and greens also offer vitamin C. So examples include collard greens, kale, turnip greens, spinach, and many others. So the next vegetable is potatoes and sweet potatoes, and they contain a number of nutrients, and because of the quantities in which they are eaten, white potatoes can become quite important as a source of vitamin C, and sweet potatoes are valuable for vitamin A in addition to vitamin C. Then there's other vegetables, and these go towards a good diet with vitamins and minerals and include beets, cauliflower, corn, cucumbers, onions, sauerkraut, turnips, white cabbage, and all the vegetables not included in the other groups. So the next category is fruit, and fruit is any food that contains seeds. So there are basically 3 types of fruit. There's vegetable fruits, regular fruits, and citrus fruits. Citrus fruits contain vitamin C, and regular fruits generally do not, but contain other vitamins and minerals. So examples of regular fruits include apples, peaches, bananas, berries, rhubarb, cantaloupe, and dried fruit. And citrus fruits and tomatoes are mainly enjoyed as good sources of vitamin C, and these include oranges, grapefruit, tangerines, other citrus fruits, tomatoes, and even green peppers. So next we have dairy products, and the USDA Dietary Recommendations Plan uses milk at every meal time to ensure adequate amounts of vitamins and minerals. And they also provide for those who cannot consume dairy products. So they recommend including soy milk, which has been fortified with an appropriate amount of vitamins and minerals. And they also include other soy products in this category, such as yogurt made from soybeans as alternatives for dairy milk. So make sure to read in detail the USDA Dietary Guideline recommendations for your specific needs and consult physicians as needed. So the fourth category we have is protein, and this includes meat, poultry, fish, and meat alternatives, and they are important primarily for high-quality protein. So foods in this group also provide iron, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, vitamin A. Different meat and meat alternatives also provide different amounts of these vitamins and minerals, so be sure to check the reference tables for which foods provide which nutrients. But examples of these include beef, chicken, fish, beans, peas, lentils, soybeans, soy products, peanuts, and other nuts, peanut butter, and other nut butters. The USDA guidelines recommend we consume a variety of foods from this category. And lastly, we have grains. So they recommend whole grains as often as possible, and this includes cereals or those that have been added with other vitamins and minerals or restored to whole grain value. And they provide a significant amount of iron, thiamine, riboflavin, and niacin. So foods in this group also help out with protein and calories. And examples include flour and meal made from wheat, corn, oats, buckwheat, rye, as well as cooked and ready-to-eat cereals, including rice, barley, hominy, noodles, macaroni, as well as bread and other baked goods. So quantities suggested in the food plan are in terms of pounds of flour and cereal. So bread and other baked goods would average about 2/3 flour by weight. So therefore, count 1.5 pounds of bread and other baked goods as 1 pound of flour in the Stay-at-Home Mom Cooking Academy spreadsheet. So that concludes lesson 2 of having a food plan for your family. So be sure to comment in the video description below with the number of daily calories required per person in your family. And remember that moms make over 1,000 meals a year, so be sure to get in the kitchen and prepare those healthy meals for your family. And I'll see you in the next lesson.